Welcome back to Mallory Park. It's Thundersport GB. It's the motorbike accident law Formula 600s up next, and number 66 on pole position is our earlier race winner, James Webb. Very interestingly at the grid girl there. Now he's paying attention to his bike. Good man. Alongside him, Richie McNeil from Northern Ireland, one of the fastest starters of the entire paddock. And there, Adam Oliver, number 51, and Ben Field, number 14, on the outside of that front row of the grid. All of these potential race winners, although I have to say, James Webb, a wonderfully emphatic victory earlier on. This, his first real competitive race meeting, having injured himself right at the beginning of the year in pre-season testing, ironically, here at Mallory Park. Great to have him back. He'll be more than pleased to have had one win tucked under his belt. We'll see if he can do it again. It's a good start once again, though, on Richie McNeil.
Yeah, you just knew that it was going to be McNeil first into the turn there. Ben Field got off the line very well, number 14 from the inside, but it is going to be Richie McNeil first into Edwin as James Webb manages to get back past Ben Field to move up to second. It's then Field, number 14, in third, Adam Oliver fourth, Chris Mort fifth, Craig Sproston in sixth.
Well, yes, all of them, the regular suspects as far as championship points are concerned, all in the shout. Chris Mort, who worked his way up from sixth to finish third in the earlier race, and he really did work his way up as well. He did a lot of overtaking then, and he's getting down to cases already, eyeing the rear of Adam Oliver's machine as they cross the line there. But up front, James Webb just slips through to the inside of Gerrard's and takes the lead. So Webby leads. He's got Richie McNeil and Ben Field breathing down his neck. There's Craig Sproston trying not to get detached, and it is important in these early stages of these races that nobody wants to be there at the finish, should be going backwards in the early stages. They all need to stay in touch if possible. And this leading group of six just breaking a little bit away from the field.
Yes, going into this race, championship points as Chris Mort just goes up the inside there of Adam Oliver. Looked as follows.
Ooh,
number 4.
Goodness me, Ben Field, sorry Steve, but Ben Field clouted into the concrete on the inside of Shaw's there, nearly threw himself into oblivion, but somehow managed to hang on to the beast and maintain his third place, albeit slipping back towards Chris Moore. Sorry.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to be doing that into the hairpin there. That is solid concrete all the way around the inside of the hairpin. But yes, Field had 2-point advantage over Richie McNeil, number 22. Adam Oliver then has moved up to third in the championship. He's only around about 30-odd points behind. Mort is then 2 points behind Oliver. And although Craig Sproston is around about 60 points behind, at this stage of the season, that's not a lot, really.
Well, 75 points up for grabs every time they have a race weekend. So, yes, you're right. It would be an idiot to put the 2 shillings on anyone in particular to be winning this championship at this stage of the season. But Chris Mort, you can see, looking very hungry there. He had a good chase and race earlier on, and he's aiming to do the same, although I think, Steve, even at this stage, I think most of them will be thinking, I might just get second.
Yeah, James Webb is looking pretty good at the front there. He's pushing the bike to the limit, and well, with the pit board out, I'm sure that once he gets himself a decent gap, he'll be able to just maintain the lead. He certainly looks a class above the rest here in the dry. There was Callum O'Shea just going through, and there's number 67, Ross Humphreys. But yeah, this championship wide open, really has been close this season. Ben Field looks to have just closed in a 10th or 2 there as they make their way into Shaw's hairpin. So Ben Field then, last year's rookie, current leader of the new leader, should I say, the Formula 600 Championship, definitely closed in there, Robin.
Yeah, he's just, that's off the back of a fastest lap of the race. So there could be plenty more to come in this, and it's very impressive stuff indeed. As James Webb across onto another lap, Ben Field in his wheel tracks.
Yeah, and let's not forget these 2 riders, not only did they race earlier, but they've also been out in the race of the year at Mallory Park, which is a 22-lap affair. That race, as I mentioned earlier, will be going out on Motors TV on the Thundersport Plus. So these 2 have already had quite a few laps around here. Be interesting to see if they're starting to get a bit tired. There's a great battle for third going on behind them, though.
Yes, just see these 2 through, and then see that Chris Mort there in third place. We'll pick him up in a second, but under a certain amount of pressure there. But at the moment, holding third, he's got Richie McNeil and, of course, Adam Oliver tucked in behind him as well.
I would imagine James Webb knows that Ben Field's there now. He'll have been able to hear him. And Webb certainly seems to be laying the hammer down there. You see Chris Mort leading the battle for third ahead of McNeil, Oliver and Craig Sproston. But Ben Field refuses to back off here in second position. The new championship leader is looking to extend his advantage already.
Yes, again, as we say, it's captain confidence, isn't it? He picked up a pole position and a win last time out at Cadwell, did Ben Field. And there's no looking back as far as he's concerned from that. It's given him just that little added extra that he needs. No race is unwinnable as far as he's concerned. And look at that, lovely lines around Shaw's. Not quite enough speed on the exit there to take advantage. And Richie McNeil runs up the outside into Shaw's, beautifully done, and gets up back into third place. And remember, as we said earlier, Richie McNeil has a broken thumb to contend with, as well as everything else, so fighting back well.
Yep, Pete Weston there, we can see, just having a battle with Callum O'Shea into Shaw's hairpin, but yeah, Richard McNeil, that broken thumb was starting to get a bit sore now. But there you see the leader, James Webb, just going into Edwinas ahead of Ben Field, and there's a couple of tail enders just in front of Chris Mort here, and Adam Oliver is going to go up the inside of the pair of them. Chris Mort left it a bit late. Unfortunately, he's lost out on 2 or 3 places there. So Oliver has moved from 5th up to 3rd.
Yeah, Craig Sproston taking advantage as well. And through they go. And that really was a rotten Edwinas for Chris Mort, losing 3 in 1. But the back marker there just causing consternation in the ranks, but they're all settling down into their new order. So there's Oliver, McNeil, Richie McNeil, number 22, then Sproston and Mort, and they are 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th as the last lap flag is brought out.
Yeah, James Webb has last couple of laps just been able to put a little bit of a gap on Ben Field to take the pressure off here on this last lap, but a valiant effort nonetheless from Ben Field, the new championship leader. But who's going to get 3rd position? There's Adam Oliver, there's Richard McNeil, and there's Craig Sproston. And as they make their way into the hairpin, oh, Oliver's down! And there must have been contact perhaps there, was there, from himself and Richard McNeil.
What a huge shame for Adam Oliver. He walks away from there as the checker flag comes out to James Webb. Ben Field picks up 2nd place. And behind them, well, it's going to be Craig Sproston, who gets up to finish in 3rd, ahead of Chris Mort 4th. Richie McNeil really losing out there. He finished 5th. And Chris Barnes, an excellent 6th place. There we see James Webb in between Ben Field and Craig Sproston on the podium. And in the championship standings, you'll see that Ben Field has a slender 11-point margin over Richie McNeil, Chris Mort, Adam Oliver, Craig Sproston and Sam Hornsey. That's the top 6.
James Webb, a fantastic day out for you. Really hot conditions out there, but you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been extremely hot. 3 races, including the race of the year. And to be honest with you, in that last race, I just thought, get out in front and keep it about +1, +2, and bring it home, because I was absolutely knackered. But no, it's a fantastic weekend. The bike's been great. Thanks to Steve Bennett from McAvoy Racing for giving me the chance to ride the bike again. And my little brother Danny done well on Aston yesterday. He's helped me out a bit this year as well. And Squeaky Cleaning Services. So, yeah, great weekend. Now I can have a little beer, I think.